Okay, fifth time is the charm. Welcome back, everybody. I am Bale Review Stuff, and today we'll be taking a look at the Gundam Universe Wing Gundam from the television series Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, or as it's known in Japan, New Mobile Report Gundam Wing, from the 1990s. Okay, I'm gonna be dead honest. This is my fifth time trying to record this, and I am running out of patience. However, I don't have to worry about running out of time to record, which was my issues last time, so I have 57 minutes of record time left. Now, this guy cost me $26. It was $25.99 at GameStop, and yeah. This is a Tamashii Nations product, which is licensed by Bandai. The other two figures, not kits in the series so far, are the Granddaddy Gundam and the Unicorn Gundam. Now, on with the review. So for those of you who don't know, Gundam Universe is this project that Bandai is doing, where they're taking popular Gundams from different series, and they are releasing them as action figures for the West. And this is to hopefully try and get more Western people into Gundam. The only issue is that by trying to Westernize them, right? Well, I mean, they gave them slight redesigns, which look pretty cool. Kinda. I mean, they don't look too drastically different, but they still look awesome. The only issue is that none of them are to scale. They're all 6 inches tall. To showcase this, here he is with the Gundam Mark II high grade, the Revive high grade. Here he is with the Thunderbolt GM. And here he is with one of my personal favorites. Oh god, I gotta move all these. The Calamity. Don't worry, a review of the high grade Thunderbolt GM is coming eventually. This right here, I was excited for it when it was announced. I was excited for it when I saw it at GameStop and I went to hang out with my friends, at the mall that we have here. One of my buddies, I texted him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm hanging out in GameStop." I'm like, "Okay." He wasn't supposed to be there. We were supposed to meet up in the food court. Dudes in GameStop. So I go into GameStop, find him. First thing I see, because he's standing right next to the shelf full of action figures that GameStop has, right? I see this, the Unicorn, the Granddaddy Gundam, for $26 a pop. I had 40 on me. So I got him. I'm like, yeah, screw it. I mean, I've always wanted a Wing Gundam, and I don't have one yet, and that's right there. As far as accessories go, you have these two fists, a holding hand for his Buster Rifle and the Buster Rifle, a shield, holding hand for the shield, handle for the shield, and this connector that goes into the arm. As for why I didn't show off the hands separately from the weapon and the shield, is because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get them back on if I did. It took me 5 minutes to get the hand on the handle when I first got this, so I'm not taking it off. It took me about 3 minutes to get that hand on there, because they're soft plastic. And soft plastic stresses very easily. Most of this figure is soft plastic. And it's hefty. It's almost like a brick. Well, it's a brick of an action figure. And you can tell holding it compared to a model kit. Like this thing right here feels as light as paper compared to this, right? Like I have no fears about throwing that to the ground. I fear about throwing this to the ground. Actually, the only thing I fear about this is the wings, because those are hard plastic, and they're kind of sharp at the point. Just a tiny bit. His V fin is a little stabby too, and it's off center just a tiny bit. This one is longer than this one. Anyways, yeah, it's all painted, which is pretty cool. It doesn't do the one thing the Wing Gundam is supposed to do, though, and that's transform. Because you don't know how the Wing Gundam has that awesome bird mobile armor thing that it turns into. This doesn't do it at all. And it bothers me. I've probably said this twice already in this recording, maybe 4 times. But it doesn't do it. It bothers me. Which actually leads us into our next segment for this review, Articulation. So, as far as how this thing poses, there's another accessory that came with this, and that's an action-based adapter that, much like real grades, will slide up under here, but I lost it. Straight up lost it. I looked for it for 5 minutes before I started recording the first one of these and couldn't find it, so I said, screw it, we'll go on without it and just mention it. As far as articulation goes, he has double bends in the elbows. You got to move this down in order to really do it. That is all you're getting out of that elbow. Partly because of the armor, partly because of the claw. As for the actual shoulders are on a ball joint connected to the top of the shoulder. Well, shoulder arm is on a ball joint connected to the actual shoulder. The shoulder is on another ball joint. And a hinge in here, so it can go up that far. You got a bicep swivel. And they actually painted the inside of that, which they didn't have to do, but I really appreciate it. And ball joint here, you can do what a ball joint can do. As far as chest articulation, you can bend down that far, bend up that far, which is cool. And then you can turn that far to both sides. That's why he can't transform. Well, one of the reasons is that can go up that far, down that far, unless you extend the neck, and then it can go down that far. So yeah, you got a little bit of giggity because it's not 2 ball joints, it's a ball joint and a hinge. As far as the legs, you can move them up that far, back that far, out that far, double bend at the knee, only goes that far, partially because that blocks it. As far as the legs, you can go down that, feet up that, to the side that much and that much. I actually got some pretty good detailing in there. You can actually see the pipes and stuff that would make that up. Or I shouldn't say pipes, more like pistons. As far as the wings, they are on a ball joint here for both of them, and you can move them separately out to that far, however you want to pose them. And then ball joint action. You know, they painted a lot on here that didn't. Okay, and these look like they should move, but they don't. You know, they painted quite a bit on here that they didn't really have to, but I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, they little vents on the face. I don't know if you can see them. Focus. Yeah, they painted those in. They filled that with paint. They didn't have to, but they did. Another thing you can notice is that he doesn't have the black all the way across like he should. But I think that's how it was in the anime as well. I can't remember though, because it's been forever since I've seen Wing. But no. Oh, it's not focusing. Hold up. There we go. So, all the black bits in there are also painted. Also, this thing is thick as hell. I mean, seriously. They could have, because how it's supposed to work is this is supposed to bend down and the beam sabers will be stored in here. Doesn't do that. Not at all. Nope. They actually painted in little green visor thing for the mobile armor mode, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of useless since you can't turn into the mobile armor, but attention to detail is nice. But yeah, it actually has a little blurb about Gundam. Actually, if you want to read that, and then it tells you what all can do. Oh yeah, and then it has a little thing on the actual Wing Gundam itself. 1995. That's when Gundam Wing was released. 1995. Okay. Yeah. And then it's a licensed Bluefin product. Yeah, because everything Gundam released in the West is Bluefin. And then check out Gundam info. Yeah. And then Wave 2 is actually coming out relatively soon. I'm kind of excited because it got the Death Scythe, Barbatos, and what was the other one? There's another one that I can't remember. Oh well, we'll figure it out later. But as far as should you buy this? It's a hard question. I mean, if you're not like me and care a lot about scale, and you just want a nice Wing Gundam to put on your shelf, then go for it. But if you're like me and you want something to scale, and you want a Wing Gundam that can actually transform, and you also don't want to spend almost $30 on this, then probably avoid it. But yeah. One thing I should say is that the reason why a lot of this is kind of sharp is that these are aimed towards teens and adult collectors. That being said, that kind of makes some of the lousy paint and everything else on there that they put there kind of inaccessible. Like these blue bits on the shoulder, those are supposed to be Vulcans. They should be gray. They're not. As I said before, the V-fin, this is at a different angle than this. It shouldn't be. And this gold paint, some of it looks good, but then other bits of it look like shiny mustard. I don't know if it looks like that on the camera or not. Nah, it doesn't really look like it on the camera. But in person, a lot of this gold paint. The only two gold paint apps that look good are here and here. And then the same on the backs of the shoulders. Actually, I didn't even notice they had them on the backs of the shoulders. Interesting. But no, the rest of the gold on here looks like shiny mustard. And forget panel lining it. I tried using what I used to panel line. You can see there. It was not fun at all. So I just undid it to the best of my ability. But no, for $26, should you buy this? Probably not. I'd say a better price for this would be like $15, maybe $16. Also, when I first got this, I thought it was to scale because in the box, it looks like it'd be about the size of a high grade. No, it's like a solid inch or two taller than most of them. So that's fun. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Ciao.